Right, so guys, now we have finished off question number 1 and 2. Before we start off question number 3, let me first finish off 4 and then come back to 3. Right, okay. Now guys, question number 4 is a little bit of a complicated area. That is because we are not going to prepare just one account. We are going to now prepare 3 accounts. So what are the 3 accounts? The subscription account, the same account what you prepared as of question number 1 and 2. Also, we will be preparing 2 accounts separately, subscription arrears account and subscription advance, right? So guys, the first thing what I want you to do is write number 1, right? So as of this screen, right, I want you to prepare or draw and keep 3T accounts: subscription account, arrears account, advance account, right? Right, now before we start off this question, you don't have to complicate your work. It's pretty straightforward, meaning let's say in the subscription account, subscription arrears opening balance will come on the debit, no? Then the same transaction should be copied in the arrears account on the debit side. So again, if the opening arrears balance is coming on the debit side, on the same side only it will come in the subscription account as well. So remember, first you put it to subscription account. If it's relevant to arrears, you copy this in the arrears account on the same side. Likewise, if the transaction is relevant to advance, then you copy it in the advance account. Let's say for an example, I mark something here that is relevant to the subscription received in advance. And the same thing, you copy it over here on the same side, right? Let's look at this question, right? Number 1. Right, now they have given for you subscription in arrears 1st of April 2009. Right, now remember 1st of April 2009 means opening balance, right? So subscription arrears opening balance will always come like the format given over here on the debit side, right? First guys, you go and mark this one, right? Balance brought forward, that will be 25,000. Right, now thing is this balance brought forward is relevant to arrears, so therefore this same amount you have to go and mark this in the arrears account on the same side, because here debit, here also debit. So balance brought forward, the same 25,000. Right, so I forgot to explain why are we preparing 3 accounts. That is to understand from each account how much did we recognize income as subscription. And also when you prepare 3 accounts, you can always cross check your answer and see. So I will give the formula for that once we finish off this question. Right, next one, subscription received in above, right? A small printing mistake guys, it's not above, that has to be advance. Okay, right. So subscription received in advance is 15,000 on 1st of April. So remember, received in advance is a liability. 1st of April mean that's the opening balance. So as you can see on the format, this should now come on the credit side, right? So you mark this over here, right? So balance brought forward 15,000. Okay, right. Right, now guys remember, this brought forward of 15,000 is relevant to the advance account, right? So therefore guys, in the advance account also you have to go and mark this balance brought forward 15,000. Right, now remember, in the subscription account this comes on the credit side, therefore in the advance account also this has to now come on the credit side. Right, done. Right, so going back to the question, right, then we have something called subscription receive. Right, now guys remember, again subscription receive means what you get in cash. So remember, whatever you get in cash will go to what account? Receipts and payments. So R and P, when you look at the format subscription account, R and P always comes on credit side, right? So guys, you go and mark that also. So R and P, that is 272,000. Right. Then guys, next one, subscription in arrears and in advance as at 31st of March 2010, right? So what I want you to do is, in your tute, please mark and keep 31st of March 2010 means closing balance, right? Number one, subscription arrears closing and advance closing, right? So guys, first let's copy down that one. Right, number one, subscription in arrears closing balance is 40,000. So remember, arrears closing will always come on the credit side because the brought forward comes on debit, right? So mark that one over there, 40,000. Right. And now guys, don't forget, right, now remember, this 40,000 belongs to what? Arrears. So without forgetting, you have to mark this in the arrears account also, right? So go and mark on this side also, balance carried down, right, 40,000. Okay, right. Then guys, next one, this 10,000 now belongs to advance. So remember, that's 31st of March now, so that is also closing balance, right? First you mark this in your main account, subscription carried down, 10,000. Right. Okay, now remember, this 10,000 belongs to advance. So without forgetting, you have to mark this in the advance account also, right? Now remember, in the advance account, it will come on the same side as it appears in your subscription account, 10,000. So guys, remember, this is a closing liability, that's why it's coming on the credit side. Okay, right, last one. Right, so guys, this transaction is something new. For the very first time we are coming across this one, right? It was revealed that 10,000 included in subscription arrears is written off as irrecoverable, right? Now remember, right, in the last video I explained to you that the one over here, number 5, so number 5 over here is what? Right, subscription written off, right? Now remember, subscription written off is only applicable to subscription arrears. That is because arrears means what? People don't pay. So only if people don't pay, only those set of members can give you something called a subscription written off, right? Now we understand that 10,000 is irrecoverable. So irrecoverable means number 5, subscription written off, right? So it comes on the credit side. So you also guys go and mark this on the credit side of your account. Right, so we have written off 10,000. Right. Right, now guys, remember, this 10,000 what we wrote off is belonging to arrears. So guys, you have to go and mark this in your arrears account as well. Now remember, in the main subscription account, this comes on the credit side, no? So therefore, even in the arrears account, this should come on the same side, that is on the credit side. Right. Okay, right. Now guys, we have completed the question. Now only thing what we should do is write balance of our questions over here. Okay, right. So guys, number 1, subscription account, as you can see, the credit side answer is much more bigger than the debit side. So please total up this and get your answer. So that's 15,000 plus 272,000 plus 10,000 plus 40,000 will now give us 337,000. Okay, so please take that as your total. Okay, right. So again guys, how did we get 337,000? That is the total of this side. So from 337,000, now please subtract these two values over here. right? So from 337,000 you subtract 10,000 and also you subtract 25,000, right? So therefore guys, the missing figure over here is now going to be income and expenditure 302,000, right? So that is the missing figure that we have to calculate guys in this question, right? Now go to the subscription account. Even guys, this account I want you to close the account and find the missing figure, right? Now in the arrears account also, the credit side is much more bigger than the debit side, so therefore when you total up guys, you will get 50,000, right? Right, so from 50,000, when 25,000 goes away, the balance over here will also be 25,000. So that's a missing figure, right? So again, how did we get 25,000? Right, so guys, that is again, we totaled up the credit side, we got 50. From the 50 we subtracted 25 and we got the missing figure of 25,000, right? Then close this one also. So again, we are having the same issue. The credit side is much more bigger than the debit side, right? So what you should be doing is, right, number one, take your total, right? So guys, the total over here will now be 15,000, right? So therefore again, the missing figure what we get over here, right, is again going to be 5,000, right? Okay, so guys, we have completed this question as well, right? So the summary of what we did over here, right? Number one, we had to prepare 3 accounts, right? Number one, once you get your transaction, first you copy it into your subscription account. Ask yourself, does this belong to arrears or advance? If it belongs to arrears, copy it in the arrears account on the same side. The side does not change. If it belongs to advance, then you copy it in the advance account on the same side. The side does not change. Finally, you close all 3 accounts and find the missing figures, which is now going to be income and expenditure account, right? Okay, right. So guys, so what was the purpose of preparing 3 accounts? That is because you can always, what you can say, cross check your answer and see whether your answer what you got, that is whether this 302,000 is correct, right? So I'll give you the formula for that one, right? Right. So guys, I will erase what is given over here, right? Okay, right. So once you prepare 3 accounts, you can always find your answer this way: subscription income is equal to subscription right? So this is the purpose of preparing the 3 accounts actually, right? Subscription income. Now see, in this question, subscription income is 302,000. We can cross check this 302,000 by adding 3 given figures, right? In your formula, the first thing that they want is, right, number one, subscription received in cash. So see, subscription received in cash during the year is 272,000, right? So let me mark that one, 272,000 plus subscription in arrears INE. So when you go to your subscription in arrears account, the INE is now representing 25,000. So you add back 25,000. And finally, subscription in advance INE. So when you go down or when you look at your T account, subscription received in advance INE is 5,000. Right, so let me mark that also. Right, plus 5,000, which will now give you an answer of 302,000. So that is the purpose of preparing 3T account, that is to understand, right, from each of the account how much did we recognize as INE. To cross check our answer, the total income of 302,000 can always be cross checked through adding these three figures. So how did we get 272 received in cash? This 25,000 is in your arrears account, income and expenditure. The 5,000 was in the advance account, the income and expenditure value. So once you add all three, you definitely have to get 302,000, right? So guys, please make sure that you do this question. Again, as always, please ask if there are any doubts to be cleared. We will be practicing another 2 questions in this similar format.